With Divine's grace and Guru's grace only, I am able to continue my spiritual journey. After submitting my gratitude to my Gurukulam, from where I obtained this knowledge, I am sharing this to my listeners. For all spiritual seekers who want to attain liberation, they are having a lot of confusion about the path. Many people have this confusion whether they should give up their family life in order to pursue spirituality. Should they go and settle in caves, or can they obtain liberation staying as a householder? In order to remove the confusion from the minds of seekers, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, in the 20th sloka of 3rd chapter, gives clarity. When Arjuna refused to fight the war because he had to kill his relatives, he started giving knowledge of Gita to Arjuna, and in this particular verse, Bhagavan talks about a king by name Janaka. He says, when kings like Janaka and Aswapati became jnanis, when they attained liberation, why a householder cannot obtain? One can imagine how the schedule of a king would be. They had offices to keep, and they were very busy with certain actions which had to be done. Lots of responsibilities they will have. In those years, the examples of kings were given. Today we can equate it with leaders. So as a householder holding that kind of a leader's position also, one is eligible for moksha. Knowledge of self or realizing of a true nature as consciousness is only moksha. And breaking the cycle of birth and death, this is another definition of moksha. In order to obtain this, the attitude with which we have to do our karmas is what is being explained here by the Lord. We already discussed karma yoga in the 2nd chapter, in the 47th sloka. One can have little bit of study about 2nd chapter 47th sloka before coming here. Now we'll go to the verse. Everyone has likes and dislikes, and we perform actions in order to fulfill our desires. While performing the action, one has to follow dharma and adharma, right or wrong. Otherwise, wrong actions will bring undesirable results. Lord here talks about people who enjoy a disposition because of their attitude. When he talked about Janaka and Aswapati, he mentions that they did their actions keeping karma yoga in their view. That is, dedicating all our actions to the Lord, Ishwararpana Buddhi we call it, and accepting results as prasada. Prasada Buddhi. This is the second component of karma yoga. So when he mentioned about Janaka and Aswapati, when they were in the midst of their duties, when they could obtain liberation, they were jnanis. So he took those people's examples. So why not we as householders? If we have the same attitude like them, we can also definitely become jnanis. That is the clarity this verse is trying to give us. We are talking being householders, how they attained liberation. This is only because of their change in their attitude. They did their duty not for personal gain. Well-being of society is kept in view. Selfless actions were done to society which were beneficial to the society. So their entire attitude towards their actions is very well explained here. So when a king was eligible, for liberation, why not a householder? This is just the way of doing our actions. That is what has to be changed. So after talking about Janaka and Aswapati, he says they were jnanis and they were in the process of performing duties following the principles of Karma Yoga, and they prepared their mind after Antakarana Shuddhi or mental purification. Then knowledge took place. They became jnanis. After they became jnanis, did they have to do action in their life? For that, Lord has given explanation. So the first portion of this verse talks about the attitude of doing actions. The second portion of this verse talks about after one attains liberation, how one should lead their life or how one leads their life. Should they do karmas or should they drop the karmas? This was the confusion. It is told that whatever prarabdha is to be executed, they act accordingly. They may lead a life of activity as a king or as a householder, whatever it is. They will lead a life free from activities also. It is up to them. As long as they are not in the grip of activities based on likes and dislikes, there is so much of freedom. That is what is being described in this verse. And now, if we see the way how when we learnt about Karma Yoga and how kings perform their duties not for their selfish reasons, is this topic not relevant for us today? So Bhagavad Gita's verses are valid to this particular life in which we are all entangled.